Hello, darlings. It's me, Elvira, your hostess with the mostest. Today, we're going to read a little bit of poetry. So, we're going to act like we're really classy here. We're going to be reading the spooky classic, the Gashlycrumb Tinies by Gorey. I mean, that's pretty spooky, right? His name is Gorey. So let's go ahead and read it. Again, this is the Gashlycrumb Tinies. So A is for Amy, who fell down the stairs. Ouch. B is for Basil, assaulted by bears. Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. C is for Clara, who wasted away. And D is for Desmond, thrown out of a sleigh. I guess he was on the naughty list. E is for Ernest, who choked on a peach. F is for Fanny, sucked dry by a leech. G is for George, smothered under a rug. H is for Hector, done in by a thug. He was on the wrong side of town, wasn't he? I is for Ida, who drowned in a lake. J is for James, who took lye by mistake. I guess he had a filthy mouth. K is for Kate, who was struck with an axe. L is for Leo, who swallowed some tacks. M is for Maud, who was swept out to sea. N is for Neville, who died of ennui. O is for Olive, run through with an awl. P is for Prue, trampled flat in a brawl. Q is for Quentin, who sank in a mire. R is for Rhoda, consumed by a fire. S is for Susan, who perished of fits. I mean, wow, we all go crazy sometimes, right? T is for Titus, who flew into bits. U is for Una, who slipped down a drain. V is for Victor, squashed under a train. W is for Winnie, embedded in ice. X is for Xerxes, devoured by mice. You better rethink that next trip to Disney, right? Y is for Yorick, whose head was knocked in. And Z is for Zilla, who drank too much gin. I guess she drank too much gin and juice. Now she's really laid back. So that was it. The lovely Gashlycrumb Tinies by Gorey. You can get it on Amazon for about $9. This is the back. It's got some tombstones here. And again, the front. And like I said, Amazon has it for less than $10. They also have shrunken heads for all occasions. So, you know, if you're in the market for one of those. Let's go ahead and do some discussion about the five senses. It's very sensory. So we'll go ahead and start with the look. I know that you, if you're not familiar, you haven't seen all of the pictures, but there's some very cool pictures and drawings done by Mr. Gorey inside the book. So I'll go ahead and maybe post those again later. But for right now, we're just going to concentrate on the 5 senses. I'm not going to really rely on those illustrations. I kind of want to just kind of maybe take it in my own headspace. You know, it's kind of big. I got a lot of stuff in it. So, how does it make you feel? Now, this is for the look. The look, I'm going to say that, you know, because of the story is dark humor, so it's obviously going to be darkness. And, you know, that's kind of a lot of black, you know, like my hair and my dress and lots of other things that I have. So we're going to keep with the black and the grayness, you know, like the gray that's kind of this backdrop of mine with a lovely moon there, you know. And also I think that since it's black humor, it's got a lot of humorousness to it. Humorousness, if that's a word. I think Elvira is pretty funny and spooky, and this book is very funny and spooky, so definitely big fan of that. The humor lies in the way that the accidents and the incidents are happening to the characters within the story, how it's being carried out. The alphabetical and the rhyming narration is kind of like other kind of books that are for children. I know that I used to read some things when I was a kid. You probably have too. And the Gashlycrumb Tinies has a dark tone by itself, and the mood is like defined further, you know, with all the drawings and everything. Yeah, even though it has been written in 1963, the poem lends itself to many aspects and aesthetics of the Victorian era. In the Victorian era, there was a lot of wearing black. Queen Victoria, thank you. She made a lot of rules when it came to, say, funerary customs at that time in England. So, cheers to the Queen. What portion of the poem do you feel it corresponds to? I feel that it's pretty much the entire thing is pretty dark, pretty black, and kind of like, you know, charcoal or soot. Also, since like it has maybe a little of a Victorian aspect to it, then I think that it kind of has a foggy kind of, you know, London fog, Jack the Ripper. I'm thinking, you know, just a lot of different aspects to the darkness. And so, and now we have my fog. So we've got fog here, which is very spooky. So yeah, now let's move on to the next bit here. We're going to move on to the smell. So, I mean, right now I kind of smell all this fog juice from my fog machine. But in the poem, I guess the smell that it invokes would be kind of like smoky, kind of like maybe dead leaves, like dead leaves. Do I have a dead leaf here? Dead leaves and like salty air. I'm going to say belladonna, amber, apricot. And the reason why I chose that specific component is that since there's various scenarios in the poem, I guess the smells just reminded me of a certain situation. So like the smoky could be like when Rhoda is consumed by fire, or the salty air is for Maud, who was swept out to sea. And I have a lot of perfume that smells like that. So this is a black perfume. I love the smell of it. And it's got essence of apricot and belladonna in it. So, I really enjoy that. Also, I have this air freshener. Woo! And this air freshener has amber and sandalwood incense in it. Really good. I'm going to put it down here. Just get rid of it. So, that's it for the smell. Like I said, you know, kind of smoky, kind of mysterious, kind of soothing, melancholy, somber, but maybe a little bit of a sexiness to it, but maybe that's just me. I don't know. So for taste, I'm going to go with peach. Because definitely Ernest choked on a peach. So I'm going to go with that peach taste. And I have a peach right here. I'm going to go with the peach as the taste, because I like the taste of peaches. It's familiar. Also, I think since the characters are children, I think that there's something about peaches that are very innocent and pure. So I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. Like I said, I'm not going to really think about things too much in a literal fashion. This is kind of taking that peach that he choked on to a different place. So we have the peach, and also, like I brought up the Victorian era, this story kind of lends itself to that time period. I'm gonna say that it tastes like absinthe. It's pretty good stuff, absinthe. I'm not going to have any right now because then I'm just going to be schnockered and I'm not going to make any sense whatsoever. So I'm not doing that right now. But this is the absinthe stone. And if you've ever had it, absinthe is a very green drink most of the time. They do make other colors. It is very green and it tastes... Some people say that it tastes like licorice. I don't think it tastes like licorice at all. It tastes like anise. There's a lot of herbal elements to this, and so it has a good, interesting taste and smell. And so, also, they brought up honey as well. And gin, since Zilla drank too much gin and juice, remember? Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and move on to touch and feel. I'm going to go with smooth, satin, flower petals, maybe soot, kind of like that powdery, kind of chalky. Also, candle wax. Candle wax is kind of smooth, kind of soft, but it's still kind of like hard. Also to metal. So anything that's like metal, like this spoon, or glass like my wonderful candle goblets here. Also, extreme temperatures, like maybe hot like the flame that we're gonna get by Rhoda, consumed in a fire. Winnie was embedded in ice. With the metal, again, the metal, I know this isn't an axe, but, you know. So for the sound, I feel that, you know, just like everything else, it's going to lean towards maybe a spooky, kind of somber, kind of curious, mysterious, melancholy vibe going, you know. So for me, I'm going to probably equate that with the bells and chimes, kind of organs. Very kind of slow, melodic. I chose that because, as mentioned before, like I said a million times, it's very macabre overtones here. Many funerary customs, a death bell or death knell was rung to announce the death of someone. So, you know, all the characters here have met their untimely demise. So I would equate that with a bell ringing. So we'll go ahead and see what that sounds like. And I hope you can hear this. Come on. It's totally upstaging me. So that's that. Definitely not that. Oh, the YouTube and their commercials. So, that is it. I hope you enjoyed my little video. Really quick though, because we're talking about spooky things and I'm dressed as Elvira, I just want to share this photo. I'll go ahead and include it and post it. If you notice that it is signed by Elvira, to me, I did meet her last Halloween and it was fantastic to meet her. I got a nice photograph and I got a comic book signed and I had got maybe a couple other little things But it was very nice to meet her. She's very much an inspiration to me as someone being spooky and funny, and somebody who has kind of a darker sense of humor. So I think that she would probably really appreciate this book as well. So that's it. Thanks, guys.